I brought a photograph with me. Of course, I left it in the other room, but I'll bring it out at some point. And it was a guy named James Kibble. He's Australian. And it's about it's April 1966. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I did a segment on a landing case that happened at Westall in 1966, which is a suburb, Westall Primary School, which is a suburb of Melbourne. Shane Ryan did a film on it. I just covered a section of it in The Phenomenon. And during my time in Australia, I'd heard about this guy, James Kibble, that shot a Polaroid of a disc a couple of kilometers away 2 days prior to the landing at the school. A lot of times when you have sightings, mass sightings like that, they're in and around the area for several days. So it's very likely that those two are connected. My point is this. According to James Kibble, and he's in the film, he said the disc was kind of coming down like this over his garden, and he had his Polaroid camera he was going to take pictures of.
Were you doing the same wobbling kind of motion with your hand?
I'm just telling you what he told me, yeah. Okay. He said it was kind of wobbling down like a leaf, kind of. And then he was like, holy shit, and he grabbed his Polaroid camera, and he said he did it so quickly, he smashed it in his face, and he split his nose open, but he snapped one shot. And he said what it did is it went like this. Which
turned sideways.
The photograph that I have shows it sideways. And I'll show it to you. I scanned it from the original Polaroid. And then it shot off at an unbelievable rate of speed, according to him.
Exactly how Lazar describes how these things work.
That's exactly my point. And when I interviewed all the children, now adults, that watched this thing land at this Westall Primary School in 1966, they said the same thing. It was sitting on the ground. They got up to, I think, around 10 feet away from it, which is pretty remarkable. When you talk to witnesses, especially that many witnesses, I mean, there were roughly 300 kids. I didn't meet all 300 of them in the playground when this happened, and including the science teacher, this guy Greenwood, which I got him on camera for the first time in history in The Phenomenon. And they said it got off the ground, and then it went like this. It turned like this.
Turned sideways again.
And then it shot off at a high rate. It's in the movie. You can hear all the testimony.
It's the same thing.
Yes. And I got a photograph of it like this. I'll
and
show
no
it to
sound.
You. And no sound. A slight humming or buzzing sound. This is 1966. So, and I'm going to get to this later, but we can go back to moment of contact. But I'm going to make the argument that some, and I cannot emphasize how many times we need to underline the word some, UFOs, UAP, originate from a non-human intelligence. And I'll start off in 45, and I'll take us up to modern day.
Okay.
Just a handful of cases that I have personally investigated. I have personally met the witnesses, gone to their houses, dating back to 45, 47, 52, 57, 55, 60s, 64, like all these cases, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is we know that the vast majority of these cases can be explained in conventional terms. All this noise about Chinese balloons and weather balloons, and that's all noise. It's obfuscation and noise. Yeah, we know that all that stuff exists. But what about the core 5 or 10% of cases, and I'm going to give you some samples today, that truly, after extensive and exhaustive investigation, not because of a lack of data, that defy a conventional explanation, and those are the cases that I'll share with you today when we're ready. But we can go back to moment of contact if you want.
Let's go right into it.
Oh, you want to go right into it?
I'm so excited.
All right,
you got me so pumped up.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here it is.
Oh, you got it.
That's the photo.
You got it. That's the photo. I got a much better copy outside, but see the way it turns sideways? Now, let me tell you, if you ever see a photograph of a UFO, and I've talked to NASA analysis about this, and it has a clearly defined edge, it's probably a fake. They have something to do with it's blurred around the edges. They can't get a crisp photograph of a photograph. They think it has something to do with the propulsion, but again, that's not me saying this.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If there's some sort of a field around it.
I have a much better copy outside, but yeah, this gives you an example.
You have a much better copy than this?
I do. I scanned it from the original. It's in my bag.
Go get the bag.
Should I go get it?
Go get the
All right,
bag.
I'll go get it right now. Sorry.
Get the bag, man. Oh, it's right there. Exciting.
Sorry about that.
Keep that up on the screen, please, Jamie. Can I see the full how it's?
Okay, here it is. Look at this.
God, it's oddly centered.
It's
perfect.
Sent to me. This is sent to me by the guy who shot the Polaroid. Okay, there's his handwriting. This came from Australia. Boom. Here it is. Check it out. And see the way it's sideways like that?
Yeah. I'm gonna put on my old man glasses.
Yeah, I know, right? I got mine too. And we can get into my argument that I'm going to put forth as if I'm presenting a case to a jury.
See, my number one problem always with these things is that I want it to be true so bad that I worry that my rational, logical mind ignores all the possibilities of it being bullshit.
Don't look at any one particular case. What you have to do...
I mean, I'm looking at it like this photograph. That's pretty good.
That's the same one. That's the same photo.
So
does that look like that, though?
You got to look at it like
Do it again.
Yeah.
Feels similar, bro.
I mean,
it's a bell. It's a school bell. Time's up, bitches. That's what they're telling. That's what they're telling us.
So,
time's up, humans.
What you can't base this stuff on any one.
Bell, James, he proved it. It's over.
You can't
Gig
base
is up. Jamie's on the case.
Hey, all I could say is that you talk to the witnesses.
I think if you picked it up, there's a hamburger underneath it. That's what I think. It's like a fancy restaurant hamburger. Monsieur?
Here's your meal, sir. Monsieur, it is waffle thin.
You know the kind where they don't put the bun together? You got to do it together yourself? The burger's just sitting there?
But you can't... You look at the preponderance of eyewitness testimony from around the world, right? You don't look at any one particular case. You look at one particular case, you think, I see some cracks in that case. I get it.
Find me one of them lids. One of them food lids. That's what I'm talking. That's what it is. It's 100%. We cracked the case.
Yeah. So,
it's a food lid. The burger's underneath it.
Yeah.
You can see the top thing.
Well, Jamie, that's the propulsion system, you fool. Don't you understand UFO physics?
I don't know which way it's going in the photo.
That's the way it's going, that way.
I
don't know which way it's going. Is it going that way or this way?
You could pull up McMinnville, Oregon, 1950, Evelyn and Paul Trent. Pretty good photographs of discs in broad daylight. Yeah, they're pretty good.
What is it again?
McMinnville, Oregon, 1950. Evelyn and her husband, Paul Trent, snapped, I think, 2 or 3 photographs of a disc in broad daylight.
You know, I know Barney Hill's granddaughter.
That's incredible.
Yeah. She fights in the UFC.
Yeah,
she's a badass.
I heard about that.
Angela Hill. She was on the podcast, and she told me about that after we got off the air. I'm like, what? I should have brought her right back in. Look at that.
There's a better one. Hold on.
It's a hubcap.
Nope, it's
definitely a hubcap.
That one there. That's good. That's pretty good.
That one over there is a hubcap.
I've got that extremely high resolution. But you've got 2 eyewitnesses, never made a dime out of the story. It's been analyzed to death.
Show me that hubcap one.
That one's that's 1960.
Yeah, that's a hubcap.
No,
that's a hat.
That's Rex Heflin. No, look at that's Rex Heflin.